Welcome back at 6:13. Some breaking news to bring you this morning. We now know that interim Austin Police Chief Brian Manley will be named the lone finalist for the city's top law enforcement officer's position.
So the next step involves you. City leaders will begin a community input process to determine if he will be named permanently. Tony Plahetsky is here with us with all the details. Good morning to you.
And good morning to you, Brian and Yvonne. This is the first significant development we have seen in 17 months in the Austin Police Chief search. That's how long Brian Manley has served as acting chief. He will now undergo a series of community and town hall meetings for the next month or so. After that, City Manager Spencer Cronk will determine whether to hire Chief Manley for the job or conduct a national search. The city has held off on naming a chief because it did not have a city manager until February. That's when the City Council hired Cronk. Chief Manley has received a wave of public support in the aftermath of the bombing attacks in Austin last month, but some have argued that the city still needs to do an outside search. Now, City Hall sources tell me that Cronk plans to treat this as a genuine information gathering process and then will decide what to do next. Again, this is the next step, but it is a major step, and he is planning a news conference for later this afternoon, Brian and Yvonne, to formally announce his plans.
I assume we'll learn more details then, but do you have any idea on the time frame as far as it comes to meeting with the public and making an ultimate decision?
The way it has been explained to me is that the city wants to get this right, and Spencer Cronk wants to get this right, but at the same time, I think there is an understanding that the city has been without a permanent chief for quite a while now. And so there is an interest in expediting this as much as possible while still taking the necessary time.
And Brian Manley has been with the department for nearly 3 decades, right?
That's right.
So I would assume that by now they know what kind of an individual he is, but also you're saying that the general public would want a chance to ask questions and give their input as well. So that's why we're going to have to factor that in as well.
Well, in the past, the city has definitely done national searches. The previous at least 2 chiefs, Art Acevedo and Stan Nee, were hired through national searches. And so I think the city, it's really important from the way it has been described to me, is that the city, and particularly Spencer Cronk, the new city manager, really does value the input from the community and that they want to give community citizens a chance to ask questions of Brian Manley, things like his vision for the police department going forward, and then weigh all of that input before making a formal decision.
All right, Tony Plahetsky with the breaking news. Interim Police Chief Brian Manley will be named the lone finalist for that position going forward. Press conference today. Tony, thanks so much for the information.
You bet.
And for waking up early with us here on
You bet, absolutely.
this morning.